Okie dokie. So in this slide, we're talking about percent composition and how percent means of 100. And if you are given the masses of each element within a compound or a sample of that compound, it's generally going to be assumed that that compound itself is only 100 grams of the sample. The sample itself is 100 grams of the compound. And so in the perfect scenario, we would also have where the masses of each element involved would also add up to 100. Now, that is not always the case. So when we'll actually look at examples later where they don't even tell you how much of the sample you have. They just give you percentages. But we'll see how we can make that nice and beautiful. However, here we're going to go from grams of each element into the percentage. Okay, and we know that in the previous slide we talked about a 100 gram sample already. So we're starting with the ideal case. Okay, and out of that 100 gram sample, we've got 55 grams from element X and 45 grams from element Y. So to find the percent by mass of element X, we're going to take the mass of X, so 55 grams of X, and divide it by the mass of the sample. Okay, so here I'm going to say we've got 100 grams of our compound, because the sample is of the compound. And it's about to get noisy, so give it just a second. Alright, once we do this, our grams will cancel, and you've got to multiply this by 100% to end up as a percentage. Okay. This is going to give us 0.55 times 100% X. Which is 55% X. And you'll see here, if you have 55 grams out of 100, that should be 55%. However, you don't always have such nice, beautiful ratios. Okay, let's look at percent Y. Okay, you'll still have the mass of the part divided by the mass of the whole, so 45 grams from Y divided by your 100 gram sample, which is of your compound, and multiply by 100%. Okay. Again, our grams will cancel, and you're going to get 0.45 times 100% Y, which is 45% Y. Okay, now if our mass of our compound was not 100 grams, we would end up with different percentages here. However, because you're talking about out of 100, all of your percentages should add up to 100%. So you can always check yourself and say, is 55% plus 45% equal to 100? So I'm going to say equal to question mark. Okay, when you add those two percentages, you get 100%. So you are correct.